Good, happy Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday, August 9th, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. It's time to rise and shine. Grab that good cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy this Tuesday edition of The Morning Show with Riley King right now. Let's get started. First up, we're gonna begin with the news. First up, FBI searches Trump's MaraLago home, seizing documents. Let's take a listen to that video from NBC News.
We have to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I've already told everyone.
$30? That's awesome.
It's their best unlimited price ever.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
Overnight, supporters gathering outside former President Donald Trump's private club MaraLago. Trump in New York, departing Trump Tower and ignoring questions from reporters.
Mr. Trump, can we get your reaction to the raid, sir?
In a statement issued just before 7 o'clock Monday night, Mr. Trump said MaraLago was under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents, claiming it was unannounced and portraying himself as the victim of political persecution, adding, "They even broke into my safe." According to a source familiar with the search, it was related to classified information the former president allegedly took with him to Mar-a-Lago after leaving the White House. In February, the National Archives announced that classified material was discovered in 15 boxes of White House records stored at the estate, referring the matter to the Justice Department. Eric Trump says he told his father about the search.
To have 30 FBI agents, actually more than that, descend on Mar-a-Lago, give absolutely, no notice, go through the gate, start ransacking an office, ransacking a closet. They broke into a safe. He didn't even have anything in the safe.
Republicans overnight criticizing the search. Senator Lindsey Graham writing, launching such an investigation of a former president this close to an election is beyond problematic. The Justice Department is also pursuing a separate investigation into January 6th. Last month, Attorney General Merrick Garland telling Lester Holt that an election would not affect their efforts.
So if Donald Trump were to become a candidate for president again, that would not change your schedule or how you move forward or don't move forward?
I'll say again that we will hold accountable anyone who is criminally responsible for attempting to interfere with the legitimate, lawful transfer of power from one administration to the next.
Of course, as a candidate in 2016, Mr. Trump repeatedly blasted candidate Hillary Clinton for mishandling information in emails. During the raid here yesterday, there was a representative for Mr. Trump, a lawyer, who says that she has been cooperating with the FBI and the Department of Justice. The head of the RNC saying what happened here was, quote, outrageous and an abuse of power. The White House says that it was not notified of what was happening here, and when NBC reached out to the White House, they referred all calls to the Department of Justice. Savannah?
All right, Carrie Sanders, we see some of the Trump supporters are right behind you there in Mar-a-Lago.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Inside the FBI's unprecedented search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago. Let's take a listen to that video from NBC News.
I want to take a walk on the wild side. Nah, I won't stop till I'm satisfied. Hey, I just want to go out.
Let's bring in Ken Delaney, and NBC's Justice correspondent. Ken, good morning to you. To obtain a search warrant against a former president and in his home is quite an aggressive and extraordinary step. This would have had to go to the highest levels of the Justice Department and the FBI to be approved, would it not?
Absolutely, Savannah. Not just aggressive. This is unprecedented, and there's little doubt this move was approved by Attorney General Merrick Garland. Look, Justice Department officials aren't commenting, obviously, but you may recall that in January, the National Archives retrieved 15 boxes of presidential records from MaraLago. That was with Trump's permission. Because archivists said they found classified material in the boxes, they referred the matter to the DOJ, which began an investigation. Now, normally, if an ex-president has documents he shouldn't have, the government would simply ask for them back. This move suggests something broke down in a big way between Trump and the archives, and that these documents may have contained some very sensitive information. This move doesn't mean Trump will be charged, Savannah, but it's a big deal.
Well, what would the FBI have to establish to get a federal judge to authorize a warrant of this nature?
The FBI would have had to convince that federal judge that there was evidence of a crime inside Trump's Florida home and that a search was the only way to retrieve it. And multiple people have told us that they were after what the FBI was trying to recover boxes of documents that may have included highly classified information and that they left there with lots of material.
How specific do they have to be about exactly what they're looking for? In other words, can this be some kind of fishing expedition?
It can't be a fishing expedition. They have to tell the judge exactly what they're looking for, and they have to file a document with the court saying what they took. But it's also true that if they find evidence of other crimes, they're free to seize that material.
Is there any reason to believe that this warrant and this search has anything to do with something other than the National Archives case, which you just laid out, in the 15 boxes that the archives got, and then they referred it to the Justice Department? As we know, there are other investigations, state investigations, for example. Is there any reason to believe this search has anything to do with those other investigations? Or the January 6th hearings, I should add.
Of course, we've asked that question, Savannah, and we're being told you can't really rule anything out. We have to be humble about what we don't know here. There are not only state investigations, there's a federal grand jury investigation that is getting closer to Trump about what happened around January 6th and the efforts to overturn the election. You know, Trump's election lawyer was served a search warrant. A former senior Justice Department lawyer was served a search warrant. Top former White House officials have been called before a grand jury here in Washington in recent weeks, and we've reported that that grand jury is asking questions about Donald Trump. So it's possible, we can't rule it out, that some part of this has to do with that, but it's also possible it doesn't.
And very quickly, the president has described this as a raid, said that MaraLago was under siege, it was broken into. Do you have any information about how this search was conducted?
Yeah, officials I've spoken to have pushed back on describing this as a raid. You know, the FBI notified the Secret Service, which guards MaraLago, a few hours before the search, and Trump's lawyers were also told. He wasn't there, he was in New York. But it's also true, Savannah, that this warrant signed by a judge gave the FBI the authority to force its way into the House if that's what agents needed to do. That's what makes it such a big step, Savannah.
All right, Ken Delaney, and our Justice correspondent, thank you very much.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we will keep you updated on this. Stay with the Riley King Network for the latest on this. New Lyme disease vaccine enters final phase. What to know? Let's take a listen to that video from NBC News.
We have to tell everyone that we just switched to Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30.
I've already told everyone.
$30? That's awesome.
It's their best unlimited price ever.
For $30 a line, I'm switching now.
The network you want, the price you love, only from Verizon.
Some encouraging news in the fight against Lyme disease, the most common tick-borne illness. The first potential vaccine in decades is now entering its final phase of testing, and it comes after a recent study showed nearly 15% of the world's population has likely had the condition, including hundreds of thousands of Americans every year. NBC's senior medical correspondent, Dr. John Torres, is with us in the studio this morning. So, Dr. John, let's just start with how significant is this potential vaccine?
This is going to be a very significant breakthrough once the vaccine gets approved, and they're looking at getting approval in 2025. So they're just now entering phase 3, and what they're going to do is they're going to enroll 6,000 people, different areas around the world, including children. And so this is something that's certainly going to help because we don't have a vaccine right now for Lyme disease. And as you mentioned, Lyme disease has essentially exploded across the country over the last few years.
How many shots are we talking here? Just one shot, multiple shots over the span of how long?
This is a 3-dose shot regime. It's 3 doses over 5 5 to 6 months. And after that, you'll probably need an annual shot as well. And so it's going to be one that's a bit more complicated than most vaccines, but certainly will protect against something that can be fairly dangerous.
And there was an actual vaccine a couple decades ago, right? What happened?
There was a vaccine that was FDA approved in 1998.
Okay.
They withdrew it from the market in 2002 because nobody wanted it. They weren't able to get it in anybody's arms. And so they said, at the time there wasn't that much Lyme disease. And so nobody went after a vaccine until, again, now we see Lyme disease cropping up and occurring more across the country. So Pfizer stepped in and said, let's go ahead and try and do this.
Really quickly, symptoms of Lyme disease once again.
So essentially it starts off like the flu. You get fevers, chills, muscle aches. That target lesion is the telltale symptom, which is basically a rash that looks like a target. If you see that, you definitely want to get checked.
Dr. John Torres. Dr. John, thank you as always.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Okay, we're gonna switch gears now and let's go into weather. And here's a look at the weather across the United States for this Tuesday. It is 96 degrees in Boston, 96 degrees in New York City, and 96 degrees in Washington, D.C. as well. Over at Atlanta, 87 degrees, Jacksonville, Florida, 90 degrees, Tampa Bay, Florida, 95 degrees, and Miami, Florida, 89 degrees. Over in Dallas, it is 97 degrees. Las Vegas, 97 degrees. Los Angeles, 93 degrees. San Francisco, 70 degrees. And Phoenix, 101 degrees. That is a look at the weather across the United States for this Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And we are going to switch gears now and take a look at this. K9 assists National Guard with Kentucky flood relief efforts. Take a look at this video.
Booking.com helps you find and book just what you want. Find your perfect place to stay. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Okay, there you go. Cute little video. Puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? And now let's take a look at exclusive discounts on summer products. Let's take a look right now.
It's time now for CBS Mornings Deals, where we share some items that might help make your life a little bit easier, all at exclusive low prices. These may just become essentials in your daily life. To start shopping now, scan the QR code on your screen. I'm serious, go ahead. Scan the QR code on your screen. You can also visit CBSDeals.com. Lifestyle expert Elizabeth Warner is here with some innovative gadgets that may help us sleep better and get ready for that summer road trip. Good morning, how are you doing?
Good morning, I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's start with a gadget that we could bring along on road trips. It's called the Jumpstart.
That's right. I'm going to hand this to you right away.
Okay.
This is amazing. This is a safety tool for your car and for at home. It's got 10 amazing features. So starts off,
That
we
one
can
thing?
actually,
Oh, wow.
that one thing, we can actually jump start most cars, all the vehicles you can
it
imagine,
plugs
your
in here.
SUVs, even a boat, a lawnmower. It plugs right in there. You're able to jumpstart. It's got enough power to do that. But not only that, if you look at the bottom there again, you're going to see 2 USB ports. Those are fast charging USB ports, so we can charge all of our devices on the go. Busy day,
Perfect
no time
for
to plug
families
in.
traveling with kids and
Exactly.
gadgets.
Power outages.
And it looks like a flashlight.
It is a flashlight
Yeah,
also, so
good.
you can turn that flashlight on. High beam, low beam, flashing lights, red flash. flashing lights, and as a safety device, it has a reflector strip.
That's right. My bad.
LED lights. I can't see, but it also has a reflector on it and an audible alarm.
Notifying people. Oh, really?
Everything.
Alarm on there.
An audible alarm on the bottom there as
So that
well.
runs on batteries or you charge it?
So this one actually runs on batteries, but you can charge it right in through your car or at home.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
All right. So
How much?
lots of excitement with that because you think about I've got 4 kids. They all drive.
Of course.
They all have one of those in their cars. So now as a parent, I have that peace of mind.
My 18-year-old just started driving.
4 kids, and they're all driving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you a teen?
All driving. I was not, but thank you.
Okay. I like
Wait,
this.
before we move on, what does that one cost?
Oh,
What is
this
the
one,
price?
yes. So it's $139.99 normally.
that's
Today,
not
$79.99. That's 43% off.
Okay.
Exclusively here.
Okay.
So, all right, let's move on to mission.
That's what we call
A morning deal.
A deal. That's right. So
okay.
let's move
This
into
is
mission.
to help you cool off.
These are all items to help us cool off. They're leaders in that cooling technology. They are globally known. This is an actual fan. So what we do with this, we pop in 4 batteries. We take the ice pack that comes with it, throw it in the freezer. That is going to go directly into what looks like this big cup. But I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to turn it on. You can actually adjust the stream with your finger and you can go high or low in this. Imagine it fits in a cup holder. You can bring it in the car, throw it in the stroller, take it with you everywhere, bring it to the beach. I actually use it when I'm on my exercise equipment at home.
I see you,
Yeah.
girl.
This would be good if you had a friend that had hot flashes.
Oh, hello.
Just saying.
I'm your friend. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. You can turn that in this
no,
direction.
I'm your friend too. I'm your friend.
So now this is another great one for us. These actually come together. This is the actual cooling towel. So all we do is we place it in water. Once we do that, within 30 seconds, it's going to drop in temperature about 30 degrees cooler than average body temperature. So you can wear it golfing, hiking, mowing the yard.
How much was this fan?
So they actually go together, the fan and the towel. So normally $49.98. Today, $24.49. That's 51% off the two.
A lot of athletes use that towel.
Yeah, and they would love that, right?
So you
And
had it?
oh, sorry. There is a hat as well, and that one is the same way. You actually just put it in the water. You're going to squeeze it out, put it on your head. Not only cooling, but it's going to help you with the UVB and UVA rays. And the hat's normally $19.99, but today just $10.
I'm sorry.
What is
Oh, this is part of this.
Oh, this is.
That's
These
the
two go
packaging.
together.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm sorry to keep stepping on everybody, but I'm very excited about this because
Yes.
this
Got
is
it.
a device, as I understand, it's going to help people stop snoring. Which,
Yes.
if you live with a snorer, and I'm not saying Katie turns
I
to snore,
do.
but a lot of people do. My mom snores
you?
bad. No, I do not. I sleep like the dead. However, it can lead to all kinds of problems, right? People sleep in
It's
separate
true.
bedrooms because of snoring.
That's right.
This might be
That's
a
right.
help. Yeah.
So, Smart Nora, when you get this home, you're going to place this inflation device into your own pillow on the bottom. Then next to it here, you'll see, there it is. It looks like a mouse. That's actually a listening device, and it's going to detect when you snore. As soon as it detects it, this will slowly inflate and deflate, and that actually moves the head. It stimulates those neck muscles.
While you're sleeping? While you're sleeping.
Yeah, but it's very slow and
Snoring is
gentle.
like a flap in your throat that's
Right.
making noise. Yeah.
So then once you stimulate those neck
I've done
muscles,
research on them.
Dr.
once you stimulate
How much
those
is
neck
that,
muscles,
Elizabeth?
yes.
I do think that's cool.
Normally it's $399. Today it's $299, $100 off. It's a 25% saving, and it will save your marriage.
I was going to say,
Save the marriage.
the divorce lawyer is that per hour.
Yeah.
Save
All
mine.
right.
It saved
Elizabeth
mine.
Warner, thank you so much.
Thank
Of
you.
course, we partner with all of these companies
Save
to
my
get
marriage.
these
I shouldn't have one
incredible
of
deals.
those.
To purchase anything that you just saw, scan the QR code on your screen. Go ahead. You can also visit cbsdeals.com.
How does this
Okay, there you go. Awesome deals there for all of you guys. Awesome. And we're gonna switch gears now. Let's go into some entertainment news. And today in entertainment news, remembering Olivia Newton-John. She passed away at the age of 73. Let's take a listen to this video from Entertainment Tonight.
I had a lot of fears about things and about dying, and I think everyone has that, but I'm over that now. I mean, I've confronted the worst thing that can happen. I'm a pretty positive person generally, although breast cancer is a scary thing to go through. I felt that in my deepest core and in my soul, I knew that I would get through it. Bring all your dreams alive. Once you're so close to the possibility of dying, everything gets put in the right perspective. And I feel grateful every day that I'm here.
Olivia was first diagnosed with breast cancer in 1992. She underwent chemo and radiation and lived cancer-free for a while, but the disease would return more than 2 decades later, this time in her lower back. Choosing a more holistic approach, she treated the effects of cancer with medical marijuana.
I'm very, very lucky that I have a wonderful husband who grows medicinal cannabis for me that's been helping me with pain. In fact, I don't even know if I have pain because I take it on a regular basis and I feel very good, and I think it's doing much more for me than just for pain.
One of Olivia's lasting legacies is Grease. She was actually 29 years old and one of the world's most popular singers with 9 #1 singles before being cast as high school senior Sandy, who was hopelessly devoted to John Travolta's Danny. John had to convince the studio to cast Olivia.
Summer dreams,
They had brought up Linda Ronstadt. They'd brought up Marie Osmond. And I said, they're wonderful. I said, but every guy in the world wants Olivia Newton-John as their girlfriend.
But after that, Olivia told us she almost turned the part down.
I wanted to do a screen test to see if I thought I could do it. I was worried about 2 things. One, that I could pull off the role, and 2, that I'd pull off 18 or 17 because I was 29. And John was a few years younger than me, so I was, no. Tell me about it, Stone.
For the movie's final scene, where Sandy undergoes a transformation,
I went out on the set, and nobody knew who I was. And I was getting all these looks and whistles, and I was thinking, what have I been doing wrong all these months? And it was really very fun. It was really fun that I could pull it off.
And those skin-tight pants?
I was stitched into them because the zip or the thing on the side was broken. They were really old. I think they were actually from the 50s. So even in the 70s, they were old. Needless to say, I didn't drink or eat much on those days when we were filming.
Those pants were later auctioned off in 2019 to benefit Olivia's Cancer Center in Australia. The billionaire founder of Spanx bought them for more than $160,000.
Have you never been happy?
Of course, Olivia's career extends far beyond Grease. She started as a singer and won 4 Grammy Awards.
Singing just kind of happened for me. I used to do it for fun, and somebody heard me singing in a coffee lounge. I went into a talent contest and won it, and it kind of, spiraled from there.
In 1981, she recorded her most controversial song, which wasn't played on some radio and TV stations for being too sexual.
You were banned for this song, and this song is like a lullaby compared to what we hear on the radio today. It's nothing.
The things that are out there now, the things they talk about and say like freak me out. So yeah, it is like a lullaby.
Olivia leaves behind her husband John and daughter Chloe, who did a duet dance single with her mom.
You have to believe we are magic.
Olivia stood by her only child when they came to ET in 2007 to reveal Chloe had overcome a battle with anorexia.
I think she's amazing. And the fact that she wanted to come out and talk about it rather than be talked about and say that, I've gone through this, and it's a difficult thing to admit. And I just have a lot of admiration for her.
Only since I've gotten older, I've been able to really stand back and I used to be like, oh, she's just mom, but now I look at her and what she's gone through, what an incredible human being she is. How genuine she is. My mom, blows me away.
I'm grateful for every day, and the other choice is not so great. So I think to appreciate moments, because those moments are what make life special, and I feel very lucky.
I honestly love you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. We will surely miss Olivia Newton-John. Our thoughts and prayers go to her family and friends. And that does it for this edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.